In 1944, during the chaos of World War II, there was an American named Henry Beecher. He ran out of morphine. He had a soldier on the operating table with a severe bullet wound, screaming in agony. Desperate and out of options, Beecher filled a syringe with simple saline water, salt water. But he told the soldier, "I'm injecting you with a powerful painkiller." Within minutes, the soldier stopped screaming. His heart rate dropped. He went into a state of calm. He didn't just pretend to feel better. His body naturally stopped processing the pain signals. He survived the surgery on nothing but saline water. From this miracle on the battlefield came the most baffling discovery in medical history, the placebo effect. The science behind it is beautiful. When you deeply believe you are being healed, your brain activates the prefrontal cortex to release its own pharmacy. It floods your system with chemicals that are biologically identical to morphine. Your brain is not just an organ, it is a manufacturing plant. It can produce painkillers, antidepressants, and stimulants on command. But there's a catch. It needs a trigger. It needs a symbol of authority to unlock the pharmacy. For the soldier, the trigger was the doctor's uniform. But listen closely. If a belief can repair a broken body, can it also repair a broken destiny? Our Indian culture understood this neuroscience thousands of years ago. They didn't call it the placebo effect, they called it Shraddha. And the greatest case study of Shraddha is not in a medical journal, but in the Mahabharata. We all know the story of Eklavya. The great guru Drona refused to teach him because of his low birth. So Eklavya went into the forest, collected mud from the riverbank, and sculpted a statue of Drona. He practiced before the mud statue for years and became a warrior superior even to Arjun. But pause and ask yourself, how did the mud teach him archery? The statue could not speak. It could not correct his grip. The mud was not the teacher. The mud was the placebo. Eklavya's faith, his Shraddha, was so intense that he projected his own inner genius into the statue. When he bowed to the idol, he was bowing to his own highest potential reflected in the clay. The statue was just a mirror. It was all within him. This is the scientific explanation of Murti Puja or idol worship. The skeptics say it is just a stone. The devotees say it is God. The psychologists say it is just a focus tool. When you focus your entire consciousness on a single spot, whether it's a stone, a cross, or a guru, you quiet the noise of doubt. You activate the prefrontal cortex. You unlock the chemicals of focus, flow, and intuition. We live in a generation that is obsessed with external resources. You complain that you don't have the right mentor, you don't have the capital, you don't have the connections. Eklavya proves that you do not need the resource. You only need the resourcefulness. If your Shraddha is absolute, you can extract wisdom from a stone. If your doubt is strong, even Krishna himself cannot save you. Stop waiting for a savior to come and fix your life. The teacher is inside you. You just need to build your statue because the cure is not outside, the cure is within you.